Today marks 1348 days sharing lessons I learned and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I will speak about reconnection. How do you know that it's time to reconnect? It could be a lot of different people. Friends, family, maybe a loved one. When is the best time to reconnect? I think sometimes you want to feel that it's time to reconnect. But sometimes you can potentially feel that it's time to reconnect from guilt because you didn't connect with the person for a long time. I mean, maybe that they just reached out but you didn't reconnect. Because I think that sometimes it's the right time to reconnect, sometimes it's the wrong time to reconnect. I think the most important part is to ask ourselves, are you ready to reconnect? It might be that you are in a season. I truly believe in seasons, like seasons like or summer, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I think exactly the same thing is with life. We're in seasons of life. It might be your summer, it might be your autumn, it could be your winter, it might be your spring. It might be that in the winter you just really want to reflect on yourself and you don't want to have any input from your friends, family, and that's all fine. I think that is the most important part is that we're not supposed to make our season our life. So what I mean by that, if you feel that you are in a season where you want the solidarity, you want reflection, you want awareness, that's all fine. I think that the most important part is just understanding that this is a season of your life. This is not what you will be doing for the rest of life, because probably you have heard 1,000 times. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. Exactly the same with connections, with friends. It might be that something happened and don't make that decision, oh, I'm saying goodbye to this person for the rest of my life. No, I think that the true friendships, true family, they understand that there will be seasons that might be that you will not connect as much. And that's all fine. I think that's the beautiful part about friendships, about connections, that true connections go through time, distance, everything, and they still keep themselves as deep connections. And today we'll share again, like what are the things that we're able to look at to really reconnect. So what is the best time to reconnect? And I think that number one thing is like your intention is clear. That you know exactly why you want to reconnect. Do you want to grow itself? Do you want to deepen the relationship? What is the intention of this reconnection? You do not reconnect just because you just they message me and now I need to reconnect. Just out of guilt. That's not good intention. If intention is really I want to reconnect because I went through the season of life and now I'm reconnecting because I want to really nurture this relationship again. I want to work on this relationship again. And being able to really share the season of your life where you went, what you went through, I think that's very important. I think that's the older I get, the more I understand that people are going through seasons, and I think that's sometimes what people have a tendency to do, put a label on that person based on the season. But we're able to put a label on a season, not on a person. There's a huge difference. Put the label on the season, not on a person. Person could change, the season will stay the same. So what kind of label you could put on that season of that person? So after that season, you're able to really reconnect and say, like, this is what's my season. I want to create a new season. And if that new season, you are in that season. Because I always value your relationship. I always value you as a person. I truly believe that our visions align and want to really make sure that we are in connection. Second thing that we can potentially really look into are what emotions have settled. What kind of emotions do you have in that season? Are those emotions have settled? Maybe you still are emotional. Maybe just one day feel like amazing, and now you want to reconnect with everybody. And after that day goes by, and you go back to those emotions that was bothering you, you don't want to speak with them anymore. And that's not a good thing to really connect. No, like if you are ready, to ready. I think that sometimes we're able to really build ourselves, grow ourselves, and then when we finally feel okay, like no, now there's different relations for different, because some people are supposed to be always with us. Always, because it doesn't matter how you feel. I think that this again partly of being independent and interdependent person who understands that my struggles and allowing other person to help me to go through my struggles is building my relationship, nurturing my relationship. And when that person, other person will have a tough season, they will not be afraid to reach out. And I think that's I always said that every single person has life fire, and we have a certain amount of logs. Sometimes those logs are for short term is be out of those logs. And sometimes you can go to a friend and borrow some logs from other person to really feel alive in our life. And I think that's very, very important. But sometimes you need to ask, like, what emotions have settled in that season before I want to reconnect with that person. And I think that the most important part is this, again, understanding, is this authentic reconnection, or I feel obliged to reconnect? Because sometimes you can potentially feel obliged. Somebody's going to feel like, oh, this is my family member, I just should connect with them. I should. Like, if you say that, if you hear yourself, I should, you can ask, like, what was the reason behind it? Why you should? I don't like live a life based on shoulds. I want, I must, I don't should. I don't want should. So I want to, because there's some must as well. But I think that the most important part, not I have to, is I want to, I get to. Especially with the most closest family members, I get to. Most people don't, a lot of people don't have even family members to connect with. But you have. And I think that until you lose it, you don't understand how valuable it is, the family that you have. You get to connect. I think that's when you have that not pressure, but desire and belief that I get to connect, you reconnect. That's something that's different. Now, when we reconnect, of course, we need to ask ourselves, is that from openness from both sides? It might be before that season, maybe you made mistakes, and now it you will need to really fix the damage that you made. It might be that you will need to fix the damage that you done when you were leaving, and maybe you left without saying anything. So that means that we need to really understand if there's an openness to reconnect from both sides. And I think that openness is the key. You might be ready, but the other person might be not ready. And again, the most important part, understanding that if you're ready, doesn't mean that other person is ready. So that means that if you're ready, it might be that you will need to wait for other person's timing as well. You can potentially reach out, but again, not push yourself onto other person, because if you're ready after a year, it might be that other person will require 2 years to reconnect. And that's totally fine, because every single person has a different clock. And I think that the most important part as well, when reconnect, to be able to really and listen and speak. I really love example with breathing, because when we breathe in and we breathe out. Exactly so as with reconnection, with relations. We need to give, we speak, and we really need to listen in. And if you're not doing that, I think that reconnection is worthless, because true connection, true relationships is give in, give out, give in, give out, and that is true relations. But you could last for years, for decades, for 100 years, because that is true relationship, that is true nurture, that is true connection, when you're able to give and back at the same time. So I hope that you reflect as well, like, what is that how often do you reconnect with people in the past? I think there's sometimes might be that it's not, might be that some people, I really like this saying that there's some people are for a season, some people for a reason, and some for a lifetime. And sometimes be able to reflect on those people. Okay, this person was, all people needs to be appreciated and be grateful that you had a chance to meet them, because they taught you a lesson in one way or another, a good lesson, bad lesson, doesn't matter. But you're able to reflect on those. Do you want to reconnect? So this person was for a season, because it's sometimes if you feel that this person was for a reason to teach you, okay, you will not reconnect that. If you see that other person was for a season, is that season finished? Or you still want to, I still in that season and really want to reconnect? And then you look into the person who might be said that this person is for a lifetime. It might be that you didn't connect with the person for a year, maybe 2 years, with the person that you feel that person is for you for a lifetime. And that's of course that you want to reconnect. And reconnect is those couple of things that I shared, like, we need to understand why we want to reconnect. We want to understand that if our inner readiness is in place, feel that emotionally and logically is the right time for you to reconnect, prepare the ground gently, because I think that if you didn't reconnect with a person for a long time, you don't expect that you will get into relationships right away. Maybe you're generally just having a conversation once in a while, and then of course potentially that conversation could increase. It might be that it'll be start doing things together again. But I think that being able to say that I will be gentle with reconnection and start small, I think that's very, very, very important. And I think that's, again, this probably the last thing that I want to mention, and I think it's very, very important. Stay open what comes. Accept what comes. It might be that you will be rejected. Might be you will not be valued. It might be that you value that relationship, but the other person maybe doesn't value your connection as much as you do. And that's totally fine. And every single person understands that in life there will be times that you value something that doesn't value you, and you don't value someone who values you. And that's the part of life. I always knew that life is not fair, but we're able to really create the beautiful things when we actually able to reconnect. Because sometimes all connections are the strongest connections. We always need to create new connections. That is very, very important. And build new connections and network and find the people like yourself and find the people that you and build a circle. But sometimes rather than going outside and meeting new people, sometimes you need to ask yourself, what kind of people I already have in my circle that I really need to reconnect to build and nurture that old and new relations at the same time. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.